Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 7th, 2017, and we're in the Senator Hearing Room, Courthouse Square, first floor, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. So it is 9 o'clock, and we're having our weekly Board of Commissioners meeting. We start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please join. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, the 4th of July is about a month off.
I was at the Civil Air Patrol last night.
Finished the budget
Cool.
this week. Pretty happy about things right now.
Yeah,
Shall we
it's moving
follow it
right
up
along.
and continue our meeting?
Yeah.
No one signed up for public comment, so our first item is consent, and since
Since
there's
it's me,
just
Mr.
one.
Chair, since I am the second vice chair.
Yes, you
it's
are.
important today that I'm
Ready
here. Yeah. I'll move the consent calendar under Public Works, approve an order appointing Ryan Mann and Kylene Zimmer to the Marion County Parks Commission with terms ending May 30th, 2021. Also under Public Works, they're busy today. Approve an order appointing Keith Bonding Wynn, Richard Deisinger, and Christopher Ream to the Solid Waste Management Advisory Council with terms ending May 31st, 2021. Also under Public Works, receive hearings officer's recommendation and schedule a public hearing for zone change comprehensive plan case pound 17-001, Sarah Brin, clerk's file number 5724. Also under Public Works, receive hearings officer's decision approving conditional use, CU case 17-004/Horton. Also under Public Works, approve an order scheduling a public hearing for a mass gathering, MG 17-003/White Wind Woodland LLC, clerk's file number 5725. Under the Sheriff's Office, approve an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Sublimity for $170,775 to provide patrol services through June 30th, 2018. Also under the Sheriff's Office, approve an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Aurora for $175,040 to provide patrol services through June 30th, 2018. In the Tax Office, approve a property tax refund in the amount of $49,832.33 to Panasonic Echo Solutions Solar America LLC, tax ID number R349671. Also under the Tax Office, approve a property tax refund in the amount of $272,725.49 to Panasonic Echo Solutions Solar America LLC, tax ID number 29389.
I'll second the motion. That was a pretty big tax refund. Can't quite tell, but something wasn't square, and the recommendation is to pass it. Anyway, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll call a question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consent calendar is approved. We have two action items. The first is under Public Works. We consider approval of an order adopting changes to the Solid Waste Management Advisory Council bylaws. Brian May, and you're already up here. Good morning. Go ahead when you're ready.
Good morning, Commissioners. So before you today is an action on our SWAMAC bylaws, but a little background first. The Marion County Board of Commissioners formed the Solid Waste Management Advisory Council, also known as the SWAMAC, on February 1st of 1989. The SWAMAC is a public body that was formed by the Board of Commissioners to make recommendations on matters related to waste reduction, recycling, composting, and disposal of waste. The county's policy and the SWAMAC bylaws require that the Board of Commissioners approve any changes to the council's bylaws. So before you today, we've got three different changes. On page 4 of the bylaws, in section 10 titled Officers, 10A, Appointment of Officers, paragraph 1, currently the council votes a new chairperson and vice chairperson annually, then it is required to come to the board for approval. The change would allow the appointment of the chair and a vice chair to continue with the council without just now taking that extra step and bringing it forward to yourselves. The second change, in the same section, paragraph 2A and B, clarifies the term of the chairperson and actually designates that the April SWAMAC meeting is the meeting that the nomination of this position takes place. In the past, this has kind of been a moving target. We just want to settle in and get something clarified. So make it very clear for everybody. The third and final change is on page 6 in section 13, titled Guidelines for Community Relations. Subsection C addresses who someone should contact if they wish to voice an opinion or present information or a concern to SWAMAC. The council would prefer that the request be directed to the Environmental Services Division Manager, myself, versus the Public Works Director or the Chair or Vice Chair. Also in your packet, there's a clean version with these accepted. The SWAMAC has approved the changes and made a motion to move this forward for consideration and approval.
All right, thank you, Brian. Any questions, comments?
I think it's pretty straightforward.
I just have one, Brian. I don't believe that the board needs to appoint the chairperson. I'm fine with that. But I think part of it was designed to make sure that we had some contact. So if it works out and you can bring them by, let the public meet them, a little bit of what they want to accomplish in this year, I think that'd be good for everybody.
We'll definitely do that.
All right.
I would just say also, Brian, or Mr. Chair, thank you for being on board and helping move this all forward. It's been great to have you. It's been a year now? Year and a half?
Mid-July, yes.
Yeah, great. Well, Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve an order adopting the changes to the Solid Waste Management Advisory Council bylaws.
All right, I'll second the motion. Is there any further discussion? Don't hear any, so all in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes again. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Our second item's under the Sheriff's Office. Consider approval of an order referring the issue of the acceleration of the tax foreclosure redemption period for property at 795 Lancaster Drive, Southeast in Salem, to the hearings officer for a public hearing and a recommendation. Laura Pekarik and Scott Norris. Good morning.
Good morning.
You want to pull those microphones up real close? And we know some of this, but I want to hear it again.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Laura Pekarik, with Code Enforcement Officer for the Marion County Sheriff's Office. I'm here to give a brief enforcement history of the conditions of the property at 795 Lancaster Drive, Southeast in Salem, Oregon. This property is within the unincorporated area of Marion County and in my service district. Back in late in November of 2012, the property owner, Norma Radke, passed away, and this property was left as part of probate. At the time, when she was living on the property, and I believe she lived on the property until early in 2012, she lived at the property with her 2 adult sons. The 2 adult sons remained there on the property after she left and went into a nursing facility. And then sometime later in 2012, the property sustained a fire in the kitchen area, I believe. But it was significant, and we were contacted, the code enforcement was contacted at that time about the conditions of the property, living conditions at the property. And we worked with the estate attorney and the grandson who was handling the estate at the time to evict the brothers who were living there in the burned dwelling. At the time, we also learned that there was a lien on the property for a mortgage, and the bank was working on a non-judicial foreclosure at that time. So they hired a servicing company to come out and remediate the solid waste issues and the other building issues on the property. So what they did was, per our request, they boarded up the building and got rid of all the solid waste that was left behind from the fire, and I think the sons were not taking care of the property or nor maintaining it. They had a lot of people in and out, and there was a lot of solid waste issues there as well. So they came out and they cleared those violations. And so the property was serviced from that point by Five Brothers until 2015. In July of 2015, we, again, code enforcement received a call about somebody living in the property in an RV, and a great deal of solid waste issues on the property again. I took that case because this is in my district area, and it come to find out it was the grandson who had actually moved onto the property in an RV. He didn't have any plans for the property, and he was creating a solid waste issue there. So I contacted the servicing company again. I was successful at getting the grandson to move off of the property. During the time when the property is inhabited, even though it's in foreclosure, the servicing companies won't come onto the property and do anything. If there's people there, they won't come on and do anything. So I had to get the people off the property in order for them to come on and service it and clean it up. So we were successful at doing that. But then in July of 2016, another fire happened, probably from squatters. So these servicing companies, they're not here in Oregon. Most of them are not. They're in California. Some of them are back east. They hire people who are in the area to do the work. They don't monitor, so they don't know. And so people know that these properties are empty, so they move into them. Squatters move into them, and that's what happened in this case. And another fire happened in the house. This burned out the garage, the rest of the kitchen, and part of the front room area, so the living area in the house, significant enough that you can drive by it now and see that it's been burned. And it's profoundly unsafe. In August, I went out and I did an inspection in July, and through that process of trying to work with the servicing company to get the bank to do something with the property, I found out that the bank had called off the servicing company in March of 2016. So they no longer servicing the property, nor were they pursuing any foreclosure, not legal foreclosure nor non-judicial foreclosure, neither one. So, which kind of left us with we of course don't own the property yet. So we can't get on and do anything to it other than I posted it as a dangerous and hazardous building. There's still waste in the driveway and around the house from the fire, because when the fire happened, of course, the fire department was taking stuff out of the house, old mattresses and such. So, so then we discovered that it had gone into tax foreclosure. So now we're working towards getting approval to expedite the process so that the county can take on the property, and then we can either sell it and have somebody do something with it, or the county can. So that's where we're at right now. And we still do have, even though it's been posted as a dangerous, hazardous building, we still have people staying in the building itself. I've been out there and witnessed it myself, so I know it's happening. And it's dangerous. I mean, it could fall. Parts of it could fall and people could get hurt.
Well, Laura, thank you for your efforts. And Scott, tell us now how we can move this ahead.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. I am Scott Norris from the Office of Legal Counsel. As Laura mentioned, the property is in tax foreclosure. It's a part of the 2015 tax foreclosure case. The 2-year redemption period for this property expires on November 30th of this year. But under ORS 312.122, there is a process by which the board may accelerate the redemption period to 30 days following the board's ordering acceleration of the redemption period. That statute is made operative in Marion County by way of Chapter 3.05 of the Marion County Code, which spells out a process for the hearing and ultimate order from the board in accordance with state statute. The way the process works is this. First, the board issues an order referring the matter to the hearings officer to conduct a hearing and provide a recommendation to the board. That's what we are here for today. Then the hearings officer sends out notice. There's at least minimum 30 days notice required before the hearing to any prior owner or interest holders and lien holders of record. In this case, that would be the two heirs to the former owner of the property and the bank holding the mortgage. Then the hearings officer conducts the hearing and then provides a recommendation. That recommendation comes back to the board for action on whether or not to accelerate the redemption period. If the board decides to accelerate the redemption period, the redemption period then expires 30 days after the date of the board's order. All of this put together, the timeline would probably shorten the redemption period by approximately 90 days by the time the process is all over.
Well, actually a little shorter, because I'm sure there'd be a process even after the November date that would take a month or so. So I'm all for it. We've had a lot of trouble with this. Laura, thank you. We went through the list there. When we've had our East Salem Service District, the representative there for other reasons, bring this up and talk about things blocking the sidewalk, limbs hanging over. It's time that we get in, clean it up, secure it, and somehow make it a usable piece of property again. I don't mean to prejudice any hearing or say anything by saying that, but I want to go through the process that moves us towards that. Commissioner?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. And Laura, I just want to thank you for all the work you do. Besides this, I know we have several of them that come up all the time. I'm with you on this. I've driven by that place before and seen it, and now we've got the limbs and all that other stuff. So I'm ready to make a motion, Mr. Chair, if you're ready for that.
It's striking to me that people are already in it again too. So
Right.
that this has
We
to
need
stop.
to move it.
Yes, I'm ready.
Safety first.
Ready for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve an order referring the issue of acceleration of the tax foreclosure redemption period for the property at 795 Lancaster Southeast, Salem, to the hearings office for a public hearing and recommendation.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Okay, I don't hear any. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes, so keep
Thank
at
you.
it. Thank you, yes.
Thank you,
Thank you to both of you.
Well, the undersheriff, I thought, were you just here to watch what we did on that, or what? All right, good to see you. Sorry we didn't get to hear from you. So all that's left then is to talk about those places we'll be together. The first one's come, and I thought I was going alone, but it's a Woodburn-Marion County meeting at Luis's Taqueria, 523 Front Street in Woodburn.
You are going alone.
I
Or the
am.
sheriff's going with you.
Oh, good.
He's going to be there, he said.
And then tomorrow morning, a similar event in Kaiser Marion County meeting. That's at Sherry's Restaurant, 4998 River Road North in Kaiser. I should say again that these meetings are open to the public. Typically, it's just a local mayor and council, but we'd love to hear from people and join in. Monday the 12th at 8 o'clock, Association of Oregon County Steering and Legislative Committees and Board Meeting, Local Government Center, 1201 Court Street Northeast. 7:30 on the 13th, Staten Marion County Meeting, Covered Bridge Cafe, 510 North 3rd and Staten. Tuesday, the 13th, 9:30, calendar review, Silverton Conference Room, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. On Tuesday, the 13th, at 11:30 to 1, Kaiser Chamber Community Conversation, the Kaiser Civic Center, 930 Chamau Road Northeast in Salem. And that's followed at 4 o'clock to 6 with Marion County Public Safety Coordinating Council, Commissioners Boardroom, 5th floor, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. Next Wednesday, I don't know where our board meeting is. Is there no board meeting? No board. Well, Information Technology Director interviews, Silverton Conference Room, 5th floor, 555 Court Street Northeast in Salem. That's followed at 2:30 to 4:30 with the Governor's Reentry Council meeting at the State Capitol, Room 350, 900 Court Street Northeast in Salem. And that's it. No board meeting. We don't often do that, but we're going to spend the time. Huh?
You'll be interviewing for your
Yeah, it's a
Interview.
priority. We gotta get that
Yes.
IT hired. Yeah, John and I have our quarterly SEDCOR board meeting today
Today,
at noon.
okay.
That's why we're not able to go to,
Anything you want me to tell the
Woodburn.
people in Woodburn?
I think you ought to talk about our the budget that's coming before us that we're gonna adopt.
I can't think of anything that specifically affects Woodburn,
the
is there?
office, the sheriff deputy that we're gonna add to
Oh,
North
down
County.
in North
Right,
County.
That'd be a good one for
All
him.
right, thank you.
That's the only thing in there that I think they would care about.
All right, I'll just have a nice lunch and enjoy myself then.
I know, I'm kind of jealous. I love that Mexican food.
All right, I
Good
mentioned at
job.
the beginning of the meeting, it's been a busy time, budget. I said this then, but gee whiz, we went through a lot of material, important stuff, quickly and efficient. I couldn't be happier. Seems like this is, we're still prudent, but this is the kind of year that you can get some things done. Pretty happy about it.
Yeah, just again, compliments to our staff that put all that together, all the work that went into that. The things that we're working on, all the infrastructure stuff. Where was I the other day? And we were talking about it, and people were just saying that's really good that you're doing all that because
Like the
it's long-term.
facilities
Yes.
remodel in particular.
Yes,
We have some bridge work. I thought maybe that's what you're getting at. I'd like to do a whole bunch more.
one big bridge,
Yeah, that one big bridge.
that one big bridge. Last night I got to go over to the airport for the Civil Air Patrol Awards. Those young men and women, I mean, you go to an event like that and you see how, just how our future's bright with leaders like that. This one guy, he's a junior at Salem Academy. Bannerman is his name, I think. He wants to go to the Air Force Academy, and he got the top award, and the mayor was there. Chuck was there to give this award, and it's named after. See, I'm not good with names. It's named after a Air Force colonel that actually Chuck's dad flew. I think it was in a B-17.
Oh, really?
And he flew under this commander.
Oh, my goodness.
So Chuck had this story. He had to call
So
his
we
dad
have a
and
connection.
say, "Yeah,
Just,
it was
you won't
really
believe
cool."
this, huh?
Yeah, it was really neat. 'Cause
What's the role of Civil Air Patrol now? I during the war, it was training young pilots and stuff like that. Do they have some role, something they do
Yeah.
while they're in the air?
yeah, they like this young man is really close to getting his pilot's license, but they do search and rescue still, and the youth get, I forget what it is, during their time they get 5 flights guaranteed, and there's something else they get too. They talked about it last night, but I had forgotten about it. I remember I had a friend that was in it when I was growing up down in California. He was Santa Maria. He was in the Civil Air Patrol. I remember going out to the airport and watching him take off, and
Hoping he took off.
with somebody, flying him. But yeah,
This isn't quite the same, but my grandfather was telling stories, and it's the other end of he's on a ground observer, but they had him stationed around the valley, and he had to take his turns, and they just, watch for planes up and down the valley and call it in to the next one. Oh, yeah, he's fine. So those are some interesting things. You know what I'm getting at?
Right.
Just keeping a monitor, some civilians
Right.
keep a monitor on who's flying around.
Yeah, but that, everybody chipped in.
We got these funny red marks. Should I be concerned?
Right. Everybody had to chip in those
Yeah.
days. We're so isolated from all that stuff now.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right, anything else this morning? Laura, you got anything? You can't just have a meeting. We don't
Were
even
those
ask
your
you.
strawberries that I had up there?
They're from a farm that's just down the road from me.
They were really good. Have you had them yet?
I will be there
Oh,
soon.
oh yeah, but I couldn't find the chocolate to dip yours in.
Oh. All right, with that, let's call this meeting
All right.
adjourned.